Sharkie Gamer here. So today we're taking a look at two awesome light gun controllers. Now I've got both versions in front of me. This one's the PS1 version and that's the PS2 version. So we're going to look at both of them today because they're very similar guns. They're made by Hori, but they both have their individual features, so I sort of wanted to cover both of them. So let's start with the PS1 version. So as you can see the gun right there, and from the box alone it looks really realistic. And of course the name of the gun is the BERETTA M92FS Target. 1-to-1 real scale high grade heavyweight controller. Now this is a Japanese controller, as you can see by the Japanese writing on the box. You have the PS1 logo just there, and of course it shows the PS1 there, and of course the Hori logo down the bottom. The top's pretty plain, just has the name and the logos again. Same with all the sides. On the back of the box, and as a bit more view at the gun, it shows you basically details. Of course it's all in Japanese, but you can roughly see it shows you how you connect it to your console and set it up. So that's the back of the box. Let's open this up and have a look at this cool controller. Okay, so first off you have the reload pedal. And of course all the connections attached to it. And of course you've got the gun. Okay, so we'll have a closer look at the gun first. So this is the Beretta. As you can see just from looking at it just like it is a highly realistic gun. It looks amazing. It does. It looks really amazing. It looks like you've just picked up a real gun. And it's heavy too. Can't really illustrate how heavy this is, but it is really heavy. It just feels really weighty and everything like that. It feels like you're holding a real gun. And when you touch it like this, it's actually cold to the touch. So it's like metal. I kept thinking these were metal guns, but you probably find it's something they've coated the plastic in to replicate metal. But it does feel like metal. So I would say, at least in part, they have made it from a metal coating or just a metal kind of material. So in the center here, you've got your trigger. At the top there, that's the actual start button. Near the trigger, you've got another button here. And of course down the bottom is where you plug the cable in to connect to your console. And you can see the lens down the barrel there. It's a really awesomely looking gun. Okay, we'll have a look at the pedal now. So the pedal is pretty much a standard reload pedal. You can hear that nice click when it goes down. These are your connection cables, of course, to the console and, of course, to your video signal. And that connects to the gun. On the bottom of this, it's got these feet. So you can basically stick it down on the floor and it's not going to actually move around too much. So yeah, just a standard reload pedal, really. Alright. Let us look at the PS2 version now. And then of course, once I've looked at the PS2 version, we will then compare them and go over the features of these two awesome looking guns. So this is the PS2 version. You can see it's actually a silver color instead of that dark black color. And it says BERETTA M92FS Target INOX 1:1 real scale high grade controller. It's got the Hori logo up the top there. And of course again it's got Japanese writing. On the sides it's just got the logo once again. On the back of the box it has some Japanese writing again, but it also shows you how you connect it to your console. Okay, let's go ahead and open this one up and have a closer look at this version. Okay, so I'll just pull this plastic off, so that's out of the way. Okay, so first you have the reload pedal. Okay, so here it is. This is the Beretta for the PS2. As you can see straight away, just like the other one, it looks incredibly realistic. Just really, really realistic. Now, while that one was really heavy, this one is still heavy. It does not compare to the weight of the PS1 version. The PS1 version must be twice as heavy as this one. It's not the same weight at all. So that one's a much more heavier gun. Secondly, while this is also cool to the touch, like it's metal, it doesn't feel like it's as metal as that one, if that even makes sense. Like I said, if this is metal, it might even be, like I said, it might even be a coated plastic that they've made to look or replicate metal. But basically, it does feel cold to the touch, and it feels a good quality when you actually look at it. It looks like metal. It's got that chrome finish on it. And this one looks really realistic. This one actually maybe even more realistic than that one. But they both look pretty realistic. So here's the trigger on this one. Button down here. Another one over here. And of course you've got a button on the base. And it also shows you where you connect the cable. Up top here, this was actually your select button, and that's your start button. So it's sort of disguised there. And on the top here, where you've got this hammer here, this one is actually your directional button. So it's like a directional pad. And I'm pretty sure it only goes up and down, but it feels really weird to use, so yeah, I'm pretty sure it's only up and down motion. So yeah, pretty awesome looking. So the reload pedal is pretty much identical to the other one. I can't really see any changes in terms of the quality. Still clips down nicely, so that works well. On the base, you've still got those rubber feet to stop it moving, so that helps it. And of course, you've got the similar connection cables. That one goes to the gun, and of course, this one hooks into your TV with this one as well. So between those two, USB to your console, and then the others connect to your video signal. Okay, so the easiest way to actually show the difference between them is just to do it side by side, because they are very similar. As you can see, they look really similar. They both look really realistic. So they're both really awesome looking guns. So comparing them side to side, I'll do on this side first. That's what that looks like. It does have some writing on the side here, I'll just read it. Mod.92FS Cal.9 Parabellum patented Beretta trade marks affiliated under license of Petro Beretta. So it's just showing it. I can't get the camera to really see that really clearly, but it's just saying there basically that it's a licensed replica of a Beretta. And it's got the same similar thing on this one, almost identical in terms of the text there, and it also says that it also is an affiliate under license of Beretta. So these are both official replicas basically of Beretta guns. So Hori's has got the license to make a really realistic Beretta gun. They've both got the Beretta logo on the handles there. Same kind of screws. The detail is still at the top there as well. Going into the trigger. On the back, they look very similar. This basically function here is the only thing that's really different there. Of course, that's a D-pad, that's just for decoration. On the other side, again, it says here Petro Beretta. Can't really read that from Gardome VT, made in Japan by Hori Electric Co. And it says the same thing on that one as well. So you can see they look very similar, almost identical really. And again, like, you've got two buttons here, you've got to select and start, while the PS version only has a start button there. Doesn't have a second button. Same buttons there. Of course the triggers are the same. Going down, you don't have a button here, but you have a button on that one. And on the bottom of it, you of course have a button on the PS2 version, but not on the PS1 version. And the connection is slightly smaller than on the PS2 version. And again, the handles have, of course, that Beretta logo. So both, they look pretty much identical. I'll show you the lenses. You can see the lens inside both of them. And the fronts look identical. Basically, they look absolutely identical. The PS2 version has more buttons than the PS1 version. Function-wise, like in terms of the way that each of them work, they work identically the same. The trigger feels really nice. The trigger on this one is a bit more louder and a bit more looser, while this one seems to be a bit harder and doesn't travel as far. The buttons feel about the same on both of them. All of the buttons are responsive. They all do their job. This directional pad on the back of the PS2 version, it's not very nice at all. That doesn't feel nice at all. They could have done some improvement to that. So that's not the best down there. But everything else, the functions, all work exactly the same and feel pretty good. Another thing with the comparison of this one is, of course, this one is more heavier than this one. This must be close to twice as heavy as this one. So it's obviously they've either made it a higher grade materials or they've put weights inside the gun to make this feel more heavy than this one. But it doesn't feel unbalanced or anything. Most of the weight is actually in the handle of the gun, so it feels about right. Same with this one, all the weight is in the handle of the gun, so it's not overbalanced or anything like that, but this one definitely does feel heavier. Now, in playing games with either of these ones, it absolutely feels amazing. They're both very accurate guns. You can aim really clearly at the screen and hit your target. Both basically triggers are amazing, and they both feel really nice to play games with and pull. The PS2 one especially, I think it's at just a little bit extra travel distance or something. Maybe it's a bit looser, but it just feels a little bit better than this one. But they both feel amazing to use. The buttons are all responsive and work as they should. Both the reload pedals work like a reload pedal. Nothing really different about them. They do their job and they're responsive and they react when you press them. And of course, just by looking at these guns, they are really realistic. Hori's gone really out of their way to make a replica Beretta, basically. That's what these are. They're pretty much a replica gun. Even though they work as a light gun and they function just like a light gun, these are replica weapons. I mean, you wouldn't want to take these outside your home, because the police would probably mistake you for holding a real gun. So don't go rob any stores or take these out in public, because you'll be mistaken that you have a real gun. Especially the silver one. The silver one will probably attract a little bit more attention, but the black one looks equally as real. They both look really realistic. And if someone just picked one of these up and didn't know what it was, the weight of it, you would think it might have been a real gun. A lot of light guns are pretty light, and they're not really heavy at all, so if you pick it up you feel it like it's a plastic gun. These feel like they are a metal gun. They feel realistic. When you touch them, they are cold to the touch, just like metal. That's why I thought they might be made of metal, which I suppose they could be made of like a light type of metal. But I don't know, some things just give it away that it might be plastic, because there's some mold marks inside here. So, yeah, I'm not really sure if it's just meant to look like metal or if it is actually made of metal. But it definitely feels cold to the touch, and it looks like metal. This almost looks like a powder kind of coat black, and that's of course the silvery kind of chrome color. So yeah, definitely don't take these out in public. Leave them in your game room, and don't take them out in public or use them as a gun to rob a store or anything like that. Wouldn't be good. Wouldn't be good at all. But basically, these ones are really awesome light gun controllers. They work brilliantly. They feel amazing to use. I have to say that the PS1 version feels like it's a slightly higher quality than the actual PS2 version, just because it's heavier, and it feels like they've done more work on this one, while the PS2 version they seem to dumbed it down a little bit, although they have added more functions, and they've made it a bit lighter. Maybe people complained about the weight of the PS1 version, that's why they did it. I'm not sure. But of course the PS2 version looks really cool with that kind of silver chrome color, so it does look pretty good. And the best thing with these, of course, the fact that the cable unconnects, is not only can you use them for gaming, but you could also put these on display as well. So when you're not using them, you could put them in the shelf, have a nice display piece, because they would look pretty awesome, especially if you had them in a stand or something like that. They would look pretty cool sitting there somehow. You could cross them over each other or something. So they are pretty awesome. Now these are both from Japan, and they are pretty rare at the moment. I have not seen these often at all. And eBay prices for these I think are like around $200. So $100 to $200. I think the last time I looked on eBay that there was one. So really expensive controller, very rare, hard to find, and they are highly realistic. Highly realistic. Hori has done an excellent job with this. They've made a replica Beretta that is a light gun. And not only just any light gun, it is also a good light gun, very accurate and very fun to play with. So I'll take one last look at the quality of each one. I'll see if I can get some details out here. And the PS1 version. So yeah, just really high quality guns. They look absolutely amazing. They work just as amazing. And they're incredibly rare. So those were the Hori BERETTA M92FS Target and the BERETTA M92FS Target INOX for both the PS1 and the PS2. So yeah guys, that's about all I can say about this one. A really awesome controller and really rare. I recommend it to anyone that collects gaming. You need these in the collection. These are probably one of the most realistic light guns I own, and probably they work just as well as they feel and look and everything like that as well. So, pretty awesome thing. Anyway guys, I am Sharkie Gamer. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll have heaps more gaming controllers and accessories up very shortly. Feel free to leave a comment down below if you would like to, and if you like this video, then hit that like button. Really helps out a lot. Thanks for watching guys.